Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Project Egg Show. Today is a special Instagram workshop with the amazing, the incredible, the brilliant, none other than Allie McAdam. How you doing today, Allie?
Kind of fantastic now that I'm doing this with you finally. I mean, I feel like we were trying to get each other down on each other's schedules, so I was so lucky to be able to make it into your busy schedule to be here. But I'm very happy. We're talking about a topic that I'm super passionate about. It's a weird topic to be passionate about, but I am, and that's okay. So I'm excited to give whatever I can and hopefully offer a lot of value today in the call.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know you have so many things going on, so I am really excited that we could finally sync up. Now, the reason that I was so excited to bring you on is because you have been crushing it with a capital C. Pretty sure that's how you spell crushing it with Instagram for a while now. And, you know, you have an incredible story of starting your business as a single mom, building a full-time income through Instagram, and just doing so many incredible things. So, you know, you are an expert in Instagram. You're doing it live. You're helping people. You have so much value that you're sharing with the world. I'm so glad that you decided to share it. So maybe you could take 5 or 10 minutes and share with everybody how you got to where you are now, and why are you an Instagram expert?
Sure. So I first started out, I mean, as we all kind of started out, it doesn't always end up what we do, but I started out with web design. I decided that I wanted to work from home with my kiddo, who was super, super young at the time. And so I figured out, well, I can just build websites from home on my laptop. So I found a random person who had a product, and I told him I could build him a website. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really know how. And I know it was totally fake it till you make it sort of a deal. But I was so determined to make that work. And so I borrowed a friend's Mac laptop, and 3 days later, after a lot of YouTube and a lot of Googling, I had it sorted out and had a website to present to him. And while that didn't turn out very well, he ended up not being able to pay me. I still had so many people going, "Oh, I didn't know you build websites." And then I was like, "Yeah, I do. You didn't know that? I totally do. You should send your referrals to me. Go for it." And that snowballed into me being a web designer and learning and growing and building that. And then later I figured out that businesses, when they built their websites, they didn't realize they had to actually bring people to the website. They thought that, oh, well, if I have a website, people are just going to come to me. That's not how it works, which everyone here knows. You have to do so much more than that. And so I moved into the marketing spot, and that later turned into Instagram because I decided to start growing my own Instagram personally for an MLM business that I was kind of doing on the side. That didn't pan out, the MLM part. But because I focused on Instagram to try and build that, my Instagram grew like crazy. And then I had people asking me how I did it, and I was just sharing that with them. And they were asking me to do more and more and paying me for it. And then later on, we turned a podcast into it. So it was just a weird thing, like just one shift after another after another. But I think that's what business is, right? And that's what we learn from and how we build it, is just making those shifts for what works. And finally I've landed on this for the last few years, and I love it. We've got the podcast, I've got the membership, I do coaching, I manage other clients. Right now I just got a really awesome client that I'm working with, that I'm absolutely a huge, really good client that I don't know that I deserve, but I'm loving it. And so the best part about all this is that I still get to be from home, sometimes be in my pajamas and working on my couch, and then other times, you know, pretending that I'm cooler than I really am and getting in front of the camera and talking with awesome people like Ben. So that was a little bit about my background story and how I got all the way to where I'm at right now.
So basically what I'm hearing is that you're an Instagram warrior who's making serious waves in her pajamas at home.
In my pajamas at home, yes. And you know what's crazy too is, like, I love being able to work from home and be silly with it, but it's so nice to be casual. There's times where I'll do calls and I'll have like a nice dressy shirt on and then pajamas on underneath. I don't today, just for the record. I'm wearing jeans. There's actual real clothes, real life clothes on, not just pajamas. But it's nice, right, that we can actually enjoy life. And later I get to go be with my kiddo and do things with him, and he's just, you know, in the other room. But I get to do stuff like this too.
So clearly you're an expert. You have courses, you have a membership site, a podcast, tons of huge clients. and you're crushing it on Instagram. So I want to know what some of those ninja pajama tactics are that you use to really like show some results on Instagram and get there. And we talked about 3 marketing levers or 3 Instagram levers that you pull, kind of the main ones to show the biggest results. And I really just want to stop talking myself and give you the floor so we can go over those 3 levers that will give the biggest, baddest, in a good way, push to grow that Instagram following.
Yeah, and I just want to say I absolutely love the fact that you're calling it pajama tactic. Is that what you said? I'm pretty sure that's going to stick, and that's what we're going to call them from now on. So pajama tactic number 1 that I really want to talk about and share is probably engaging. Now, normally when I say engagement and I start talking about it on my podcast or with a coaching call, I kind of get that glazed over look because people are like, oh yeah, I engage with people on Instagram. I know. That's what you're supposed to do. It's social media. That's how it happens. But the thing that I think that so many businesses are missing out on is they don't realize just how important it is. And the reason why I want to share it with you is because it's probably one of the biggest ways you can grow your following right now on Instagram. And the way that you do that is by obviously posting your content and then engaging with your engagers. Engage with the people who are supposed to be following you. Engage with the people who are potential customers, and engage with the people who you can offer the most value to. Because that's what you're doing. If you're a business, if you have a product, if you have a service, you are offering value to someone else through that product, through that service. So you really want to reach out to the people that are perfect for that you can really, improve their lives with. So what do I mean by engaging? When I say engaging, I don't just mean when somebody comments on your photo, you reply back. Well, you should definitely do that as a business. Reply to every comment that's left on your post. Maybe not the ones that are just emojis. We all know those are super annoying and left all the time. That just annoying little comment that's just emojis, that's like a smiley face. And you're like, okay, that's helpful, thanks. But what I mean is reply to those comments, but then when you're looking for your target audience on Instagram, you go to the hashtags that are very ideal. They have keywords for your audience. They are hashtags that your audience is probably using, your competitors are using. Go look at those and go like, comment, and follow the people that are doing them. Now, I actually have this strategy. It's within my membership, so I'm going to share it with you, but it's the stupidest name, so don't hate me for it. I couldn't think of a better name, or I kind of just went with what it is, but it's called the 3-1-1-1 strategy. So basically what you do is you go to a target audience account, and like I said, you found them through a hashtag, through your competitor's accounts, they engage with one of your posts, however you found them, those are just a few ways. You find them, you go to their account. If they seem like the type of person that would buy from you, or the type of person that's perfect for your target audience, you want to show up all over their notifications, because when you show up in their notifications, they go, okay, who's this person? What are they doing? Who's this business? And then they check you out, which gets them to engage with you. The way that you show up in their notifications is first the 3. The 3 is you like 3 of their photos. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most recent photos. Mix it up, like 3 of their photos. Next is 1, where you comment on one photo. It can be the same photo that you liked, can be a different one, doesn't matter. Make it a genuine comment too. Don't just write, oh, cool, or this is gorgeous, or have a great day. Actually engage with them. Read their caption and reply to what they said, or add to whatever it is that they're posting about. Next is another 1, which is a follow. Again, I know the name is terrible. Don't judge me for the name. Just go with the strategy, and hopefully we'll be able to be okay from there. The next one is to follow. So we got 3 likes, 1 comment, 1 follow. You only want to follow somebody if they're your ideal target audience. I hate telling people, there's so many people come to me and they go, well, what do we do if we want to try that follow, unfollow strategy? And everyone's probably familiar with this in some way or another, where you have all these big people or influencers or companies following you and then unfollowing you the next day. Now, the reason why they do this is because they're trying to just get a bunch of follows back. And I actually don't believe in that strategy. I only want you following people if they're your target audience first, and after you've engaged with them through those likes and those comments. So you've done all of that. Next, what you want to do, if you're willing to do all of this to kind of go a step further and you want to make it even better, the next thing is you want to send them a direct message. Now, I know so many people, I'm about to lose you. You're going to go, okay, so I do all that work for one account, and I'm supposed to do this how many times? there's no way you've got time for this. You've got to run a business. You've got to ship your products. You have to make sure that your website is in tune and squash all those bugs on all of your tech, not to mention personal hygiene. We've got a very, very busy life and schedule. I don't know how you're supposed to have time for Instagram when you're doing all this extra stuff. What I want to say to that is only do it, again, to your target audience, to the people who are going to be your customers. They're the who matter most. So don't just do this to whoever, be very specific to who you use this strategy on. So that's the engagement strategy I wanted to share with you is first 3 likes to the account, comment on 1 post, follow, and then send them 1 direct message. And then that shows up in their notifications a lot.
So that's awesome. I love the 3-1-1 tactic. I think that's huge because it seems like they're going to start getting notifications on their phone from you. It's like, bam, 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 like a bunch of things from you all at the same time. And they'll be like, okay, now I got to check this account out.
Yeah, who is this person? Yeah, well, who's this brand? Especially if you're a brand, because then they'll go, wow, this brand is paying attention to me. And then they kind of get all fluttered a little bit, even if they have no idea who you are. I just totally flicked my mic. Sorry if everyone just had a smack in their ear, but that's what it's doing. It's getting them to like feel good about themselves, which is the whole goal, is to make them feel good about engaging with you.
That's awesome. And you also said something a little bit earlier that I thought was brilliant that I'd never even thought of before. But if you go and like their comment on another, like let's say you're a podcaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to like John Lee Dumas, EO on Fire, whatever. You see somebody in your target market commenting on a post of his. If you like that comment and reply to that comment, it would seem like you're really standing out because that's like super niche down. That is huge.
Well, and the reason why that's so big is because when more often than not, when it comes to Instagram, most of the people who are replying to you are the people who posted that post, not necessarily some other random person. So you going out of your way, it's not like Twitter, where on Twitter, everyone kind of joins the conversation. Instagram is kind of more like it's bubbleized. You gotta really get in there and you've got to find the right comments to engage with. And you're right. You show up in the notifications and then go, who the heck is this person? Check you out, go to your account, realize you're amazing because of the awesome content that you're publishing. And then they follow you, which later can turn into customers, which we'll go over here in a little while.
So that's awesome, right? 3-1-1 of the 3 likes, the 1 comment, the 1 follow, and then for that bonus extra super secret strategy of actually liking their comment and maybe replying to their comment on something else. That I think is super, super cool. Awesome. So that's pajama tactic number 1. Let's go. Oh, wait. Actually, before we go on, I did want to comment on what you said about the like being very specific about who you're doing this for, right? And I loved what you said about we have all these things to do. We have to ship our product, build our product, run our team, manage everything, personal hygiene.
Take a shower. Yeah, it's time consuming. It's a lot. Let's be honest, it is.
So, like realistically, this would probably take you maybe a minute, 2 minutes to do for per individual. And I just did the mic thing too, so apologies for the second flick of the. We just killed their ears. Yeah, but if you're going in, let's say you do 30, 40 people in an hour. I mean, if you close one of them and you're charging $500 a month, like you just added $500 a month to your income for an hour's worth of work. Exactly. That's not bad. That's really, really not bad.
It's not, especially if you think of this in terms of if you're maybe a podcaster, using that same example you just gave. If you're a podcaster, that conversion rate is probably going to be even higher. Obviously, it's harder to close a $500,000 sale, but if you're a podcaster, getting people to listen to you is a lot easier, especially if you're someone that just engaged with them a ton. They're going to go, oh my gosh, this person's actually engaging with me. I'm going to go check them out. And then they find out you're this big, amazing podcaster. And they go, this person engaged with me. I have to listen to what they were doing. They listen to you. And then you've got a lifelong listener, somebody who's going to continue engaging and understanding who you are more and more.
That is incredible advice. And already you've rocked my socks with this, this information. So thank you so
Socks
much.
and pajamas. I love
And-
it. We're lazy people, apparently. This is where we get. I don't know what this is getting at, but hopefully this is like a productive call, not just telling everyone to go be lazy and be in their pajamas all day.
Fashion advice from entrepreneurs now. Okay, so we got pajama tactic number 1. Let's move on to PJT, pajama tactic number 2.
Yeah, I like it. All right. I like it. So the second one that I would love to talk about is collaborations. Now, collabs are so important, but they can also be a little bit time consuming. But don't worry, because I'm going to pitch you on why they're so amazing and why you need to be doing them. And one thing I want to say before I get into this is, if you are a solopreneur, if you're somebody who's just getting started, if you're a little bit smaller, you don't have a team, you can still do collabs too. I get so many people that'll ask me, they go, well, I only have 1,000 followers. I don't have 10,000, 20,000, 100,000. How am I supposed to do collaborations with other people who have these huge followings? I just want to say it. Don't be scared, and don't think that you have to wait to grow your following in order to do them. While it is ideal to have a larger following, it does help to do that. It's still okay to do the 1,000. You can still do this tactic too. Okay, so the way that a collab works, and I want to talk about, first of all, an S for S, because there's a couple of different collabs. An S for S is a share for share. So this is basically reaching out to somebody else who is within your same space, who is not a competitor, who has a product or service that complements your own. And what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to that person, and they also have a target audience that is similar to yours too, which you can kind of get an idea of based off of their content, the bio that they have. It's pretty easy to tell who they're trying to speak to, usually. So that's who you want to find, first off. Second, you want to find somebody who has a similar following, not just the same demographics, but also the same numbers. So if you have about 1,000 followers, you want to find someone who has about 1,000 followers. You can go up a little bit and down a little bit. That's fine. But you don't want to go reach out to someone who has 10K, 20K. They're probably not even going to reply. So make sure that you stay within your range of, who it's like just try and find somebody who has a similar number of following. Now, the way this works is you reach out to them. You reach out to them through direct message directly on their Instagram, or if they have the email attached to their account, that's even better. So you reach out to them and you say something along the lines of this. Hey, so-and-so, insert name, badass name here. I love what you're all about. I checked out your account. By the way, previously to doing this, you have liked a bunch of their photos and commented on them, engaged with them first. I checked out your account and I love what you're about. I noticed that you have a similar target audience as me, which is awesome. I love that we're both rocking the same space. I think it would be really great and valuable to both of our audiences if we did a collab or if we shared each other's content. Now, this did a couple of things. One, I boasted them up so they feel cool, which means, of course, they're going to want to reply. They're more likely to. And two, I really pointed out some key things, which is that we have similar key audience members, and I feel like we can both bring value to each other's audiences. Now what you do is you wait for them to reply back, and then you can do the back and forth and decide how you're going to do that, whether you provide each other with content to share or you each create your own content. And then what you do is within the caption is you make sure you @tag them and they @tag you in the post. Now, the reason why this works on Instagram is because you're getting exposure to somebody else's audience, an audience that maybe you wouldn't have ever gotten exposure to before, that they built already. And what's important here is to find somebody that obviously engages with their audience members. They're replying to comments, they're posting frequently. They're somebody that is active on Instagram and engages with their audience members. So this is really good, especially if you can get people that are a little bit higher than you, have a higher count of followers than you. It's great exposure and get more people to you, and you're both able to kind of give back to each other a little bit. Sorry, that was a lot. So just let me know where I missed or any questions that you think that anyone listening would have, and I'll be happy to fill in any blanks.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing idea of like working with your peers instead of like trying to compete with them, because both serving the same audience, there's no way you're going to be doing the exact same thing. So working with them is a great way to like build together. Could you give an example of like one that you've done recently that's worked out really well, just so we could see like a real life example, and maybe that'd be easier to implement into our businesses?
No, this is great. So actually, I haven't done any share for shares on my own personal account. I do them for a lot of my clients, and I don't know that they want me to give those away. But you can see me sharing other people's content on my own Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram at Allie McAdam, you can see how I share their content. I've taken pictures of it. They sent me the free product and I took pictures of it and shared it there. You can see those. Those are not sponsored posts, which is another way to do a collab, by the way. It's a sponsored post that you get paid for to do and you share it. Those are people who were either guests on my podcasts or who were members within my group or did coaching with me and they wanted to send me some of their products and I loved it so much that I decided to share it. You can go look at those. And that is exactly how your post should look when you're sharing somebody else's content. It's kind of give you an idea of how you should structure it.
Okay, that's awesome. Maybe we could also do like and I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but like let's say for Project Egg, right? I have about 6,000 followers on Instagram as of the recording of this. What would be a good way for me to collab with somebody to where we could go like a real life example?
That's a really good idea, actually, and I love that. So I think for you, reaching out to other podcasters, so similar to what you would do is if you were going to get exposure for you and your brand, you would probably do guest podcasting. So you'd reach out to other podcasters and be a guest on their show. You could do something similar to that and kind of collab with them. One thing you could really do that would do really well for you is reach out to experts and say, I would love to give you exposure to my 6K followers who I think would love you. All I ask is you create a 1-minute video, because that's Instagram's limit, 1 minute, giving a quick tip, giving a quick advice that you would love to share, and I would be happy to share that. So that's accomplishing a couple of things. And of course, you can trade off. You can say, and I'll create one for you, and we can share for share. But this is accomplishing a couple of things. One, again, we're boasting. We're making them feel all good. And hi, Mike's, they're an expert. They're awesome. And it's true, hopefully. And second is you're providing them exposure with all of your following. And third, you're giving your current following a lot of value because you're bringing in an expert who might have advice that you didn't think to have or you didn't think to share. And it's giving more voices. It's just really, really powerful to bring that content in, especially if it's a video. So that would be a really good example of how you could personally do a collab, is reaching out to a podcaster, someone else who has a membership, and asking them to trade a video that gives a quick tip or a quick piece of advice, and you each swap it and share it to each other's Instagram. So then obviously @tag and do the proper etiquette thing.
That is awesome. And I love that idea of,
I think now we have to do that. I think now just to show how it works, we're going to have to, do that. Yeah. I mean,
that's a great idea.
With you if you want to.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. And, you could even take it a step further too, because you could grab all of the videos. So let's say you do 5 share for shares, right? And you get 5 different videos. You could take those 5 videos, create a blog post on your website, and then feature all 5 of them,
turn it into a podcast, turn it into exactly. I love it. This is so good.
Yep. So that's really valuable.
Mm-hmm. And again, like you were just saying, you just repurpose it. You can take that, you can repost it. You don't even have to do the montage. You can take that 1-minute video. It doesn't just have to be for Instagram. Post that on Twitter, post it on Facebook. And the reason why I bring that up is because so many people feel so overwhelmed. They're like, I can't make this much content. I'm already so busy working on just my product or my service. How am I supposed to do this? You repurpose. You bring in other sources. You bring in other things that saves you time, and sometimes it brings a lot more value too. So I think that was brilliant.
And one more little ninja tactic that I would like to put out there is when you're getting people to share that stuff, especially on your website, once you've put together, like let's say you have those 5 videos, you put together those 5, send it back, send that article or that blog post back to those people, get them to share it.
Love it.
And then
because they're featured on it. Of course they're going to share. I would share that. Easy.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So then when people come to that website, put in a pop-up or a content upgrade at the bottom of the post. Obviously the pop-up will pop up over the post, but grab the email address. So then you can start building that relationship with those visitors. And look, let's say you do 5 and it works out really well. Go get another 5, add it to the same blog post, and just make this humongous blog post of like the top experts in whatever niche.
This is getting me excited. I love this stuff. I geek out so much. And not to mention, you're doing all of this, creating all this awesome content. You're not even creating it. You're curating it. You're putting it together. Not to mention, through all of that, you're probably going to be growing your following too. Like, this is going to help boost your Instagram following and boost your followers and really make it so that you're getting more exposure there and you keep getting them back. And of course, social proof is nice too, especially for podcasters and business owners. So you're hitting a lot of really great points here.
Yeah. And especially, and I know I keep going, I keep trying to take it one more level because I'm so excited about this now.
No, I love it.
But what you could even do is you have 5 people's videos, add yourself, put yourself there and have your own Instagram link. So then people can start following you through that. And, you know,
love it.
So they're coming
on other platforms. Yep. I love it.
If they're coming from Instagram, they know what to do. It's not like they know how to use Instagram. Like
hopefully.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So that's awesome. So we have engagement. We have collabs. What is pajama tactic number 3?
PJT number 3 would probably be, and this is the perfect segue because you actually just mentioned it, which is, well, actually you kind of mentioned it. So it's actually taking your followers and turning them into customers. Now this is huge. This is so big because I get so many people that are like, okay, I'm putting in all this work. I'm creating all this content. I'm getting all these followers. Now what? What am I supposed to do now? Now you turn them into customers. You turn them into actual people who are going to pay you for the awesome value that you already have to offer. Now, the way what you just mentioned goes into that is the email list. That is the key to really making them turn into a customer. So now I'm going to get lots of people being like, okay, so how do I go Instagram to email list to customer? Like, what goes in between that that's really going to be key to help make that bridge? Here's how the system works that I like to share with people to get people from being followers to being your email list subscribers to being your customers, your paying customers that make it you be able to sit home in your pajamas every day. First off, what you're going to do is you're going to create badass, awesome content. You're going to create a great content strategy that really hits home with your target audience. And we've already given you tons of ideas just in this call alone. Go and reach out to other influencers, create videos, give really, really great content that's going to make them fall in love with you, which you're probably already doing, but just do more. So first is content. Next is optimizing the content so that it gets them to take a call to action, to do something with it. So the way that you do that is with your caption. Obviously, you're going to write something great. You can write your caption out, and then at the end, you give a call to action. That call to action could be click the link in my bio. Then when they go to the link in your bio, because that's like the one link you get. I mean, there's other ways you can have links on Instagram now, but that's like the one known link that you can have on Instagram. Once they click the link in your bio, I want you to send them not just to anywhere. Don't send them to your homepage. Don't send them to your Etsy shop main page. Don't send them to your Facebook. Send them to a landing page. That landing page is going to have a freebie that is specific for your Instagram followers. Now, the reason why I want to tell you this is because so many people are just sending their audience members to their homepage, sending them to generic places. When you're on Instagram, people are in what I like to call the window shopping mode, right? So we're just looking around. But when we go somewhere else off Instagram, we instantly want to go back to Instagram. You want to give them a reason to stay just long enough to give you what you need, which is their email address. So give them a freebie, give them a download, give them an upgrade, give them anything that you have that is free, but has so much value that it's worth paying for. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Now listen, if you don't have a content upgrade yet, which you listen to Ben, so I know you already do. If you don't have anything along those lines, another thing you could do, another tactic that you can do with your bio link is send them somewhere that just makes them take more action with you. For instance, if you go to my own Instagram, a lot of the time, if you don't see content's free downloadable there, you'll actually see my podcast link. The reason why I send them to my podcast is because for some reason, it's really easy to fall in love with a podcaster. And I don't mean like in a creepy fall in love way, but in a you get them way. Like I've actually heard people tell me, I listen to your podcast. I feel like I know you. And on my podcast, I'm always slipping up and saying embarrassing things about myself and personal things about myself. But those things help them connect to me and understand and get me more. Lots of you get this. Like if you're a podcast listener, you get it. You, for some reason, hearing people in our ears, we start to understand who they are a little bit more. Same with video. Video is a really great piece of content. So I send them to my podcast because on my podcast, I like to give tons of value. I give step-by-step instructions and tactics and strategies to really make Instagram work for you. And what happens there is at the end of those episodes or throughout those episodes, I'm giving content downloads. I'm giving, go get this upgrade, go get this extra download. And that's where I'm getting those email lists. So what you want to do with your bio link in Instagram is just give them one more step to do. You want to make those micro conversions, which is already happening, right? They're on your content on Instagram. You're getting them to go click the link in your bio, then a link their bio. You're making them go to your podcast or to your landing page, your freebie page, and then they're on your email list and going down your sales funnel, getting ready to buy. So there's a process all shortened down. I have a whole course on this, so it was crazy trying to, hopefully I explained it well and was able to break down each step, but that's the process you want to take from getting people from being followers on your Instagram all the way down to being paying customers for your business.
All right. So I want to do something pretty crazy.
I'm nervous.
I actually want to get you to like live time critique the landing page thingy on my Instagram, right?
Oh, I like this.
And
you're putting me on the spot today. I'm so nervous all the time talking to you.
Well, the reason I want to do it is because I've been building landing pages and doing stuff like digital marketing stuff for a while. And I've actually put together a landing page that converts at about 40 to 50% to get the email address. So I want to show that, but I want to show you what leads to that. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly. And let's hop on over to here. So this is my Instagram, right? Like I said, 6,000 followers. And then I'm giving here a 100% free passive income cheat list, right? Figure entrepreneurs, you're looking to turn your dreams into reality. What better way to do that than with a passive income cheat list? And I put a ton of effort into putting like 67 badass passive income sources. So they click this and then it takes them over to here, right? And so you can still see the screen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So it takes them over to here. And it's a 67 most profitable passive income sources with super low competition in 2019. For those who are listening, just head over to projectegg.co/passive-income and you can see what we're talking about. I'm not trying to get you to opt in if you don't want to.
That was a very slick plug.
But I just wanted to show you. I wanted to show you what this looks like, right? So you could send them from your Instagram to this landing page. You capture their email. And then from there, what I might suggest doing is either sending them to a thank you page where you introduce yourself, you build some brand equity with them, and you then can make an offer into something, or you just provide them tons of value and you can invite them onto a webinar, give them even more
three
stuff.
Options.
Yeah. So like,
I like it.
Yeah, so you can do pretty much anything you want. So I'll stop sharing now, and we can go back to the true expert, who is you. But yeah, so what did you think of that? How could I be doing that better? And I really want to know because one, I want to get better at it, but two, I think it'll be cool to see a real life example for those that are watching and listening.
I think that was perfect. And I loved that you pulled that up and actually showed the process. Now, a couple of notes that I want to say, and these don't necessarily apply to you, but just in general for people as they're setting this up, make sure you remember that Instagram is a mobile platform, which means anyone that clicks on the link is going to be looking at your link through their phone, through the mobile device, through an iPad maybe, but more than likely it's going to be their phone. Probably like 80 to 90%, if not more, will be through the phone. So really think about that. And with that said, your page was obviously optimized to be on mobile, so it looked fine. I could read everything. It was easy to go through. It was very simple. Everything was above the fold. That's another quick note is on Instagram. When they land on it, you need to tell them what they need to know right away because like I said, they're in that window shopping mentality. They're ready to go back to see what great things they can find on Instagram. Go back to their news feed. Go look at the great things that they can buy through Instagram now. Go look at their family members and stuff and all those posts. So you really need to grab their attention right away on that landing page, which Ben did. I really liked it. It said very quickly right off the bat, the title, what they get, what's involved, and there was an easy clickable button all above the fold. Above the fold means you don't have to scroll down to see it. So I loved that. And I loved that upgrade that you gave past the upgrade. So they actually, once you download this, my phone looks weird. It looks all colorful. I don't know if you can see that. But what happens when you go to download Ben's upgrade, you put in your email, which I loved. He didn't even ask for my name. He just asked for my email, which makes it even easier. So I gave my email. And next thing is he asks me if I want to get one of 3 more things. And 2 of those things I believe are free. How to sell your
Actually,
products.
all of them are free. They're all free guides.
Oh, yeah. So they're all free. I just saw a number sign on one. So yeah. So he offers 3 extra things that you can get for free, which I love. What happens with my funnel, which is very similar, is if you go through and you get a download from me, I send you to a thank you page that gives you a discount for an Instagram account audit that I can do for you. So I love, but the fact that he gives something for free again is really important. And the thing that I want to note too is the reason why that's important is because when people are on Instagram, they're not likely to make big purchases. They can make purchases, but I always tell people if you have a product or something that you're selling over $20, don't pitch it at all on Instagram at all. That's where the email list comes in. If it's under $20, people might buy it. They're more likely to be like, okay, it's just $20. That's fine. It's something I really want. But if it's over that, it's a no-go. The conversion rate's super, super low. So the fact that you're offering free things or something that has a huge discount that they got to get right away is super important. So I think what Ben did with that is really, really good. So that was fun going through this. Those are all my notes there. It went along with your branding. I really liked that. It was really easy to use, gave me exactly what I wanted, and it was clear what you were giving me. And also, a note that I want to say too is that last line says 100% free passive income cheat sheet. He says what he's going to give you if you click the link in your bio. The only thing that I would critique and really say that I would change, and this is super simple and doesn't have to be done, it doesn't make a huge difference, but I have noticed it does make some of a difference, is giving a call to action, like an actual action, like saying click the link below to get 100% free passive income. And I know that sounds simple, but it's silly how much more of a conversion you can get by just telling people what to do. Instead of saying, here's what you get, you say, do it. I know that's silly, but the more and more that this has been tested through websites and everything, it actually makes somewhat of a difference. And of course, you can test that with yours if you want, but I figured I'd say that just for anyone else that's listening too. Give that call to action in the last line of your bio.
That's awesome. I am definitely going to write that down so I can implement that immediately after the workshop. So thank you very much for that. So, okay. So we've talked about our 3 massively cool, insanely comfortable pajama tactics, which are engagement, collabs, and turning those followers into customers. Mm-hmm. Allie, thank you so much for sharing all that. I know that people pay you a lot of money to get this sort of information, so I appreciate you sharing all that. Now, for people who are like, okay, Allie's the real deal. I know, like, I see what's going on. I want to get more involved. Like, how can people, work with you or reach out to you or take the next step to learn more about how to really ramp up their Instagram? Because, we talked about a few things, but I'm sure there are so many other things that, we need to be working on our Instagram. So what's the next step?
So if you really want to learn more about Instagram, and you're right, we didn't cover a lot, which is weird because it's Instagram, but there's so many more ways that you can use it. I actually cover 3 more ways and go more in depth with them. Each of those 3 things I do a 30 to 45 minute video on, and it's all for free. You can go get it. It's a silly name. It's called the Instagram Account Fixer Upper. So it's kind of fixing up your account. First video is all about finding, picking, and choosing the right hashtags that is specific to your target audience, which I know is a huge, huge pain in the butt for a lot of people. Finding hashtags, knowing which ones to use, and specific to your business. So that's the first video. Second video is all about fixing up your bios. We kind of touched on that a little bit, but I go more in depth. I tell you exactly the lines you should be writing, how you should be writing them, how many characters you have, and everything in between, and how to kind of form it a little bit. So that's the second video. And finally is third, which is more engagement. I talk more about, which we talked about today, how to engage with your audience so that you can move them down your pipeline. I like to call it the relationship pipeline instead of the sales pipeline, but how to move them down your relationship pipeline. It's going to build up that rapport with them, really build up the value and the relationship with them so that you can turn them from followers into paying customers. So those are the 3 free videos. You can get it all wrapped up into one. It's like a nice little free course for you. It's called the Instagram Account Fixer Upper. And you can get that at, I think you said you had a link that was better. for it that I do.
Yeah. So if you just go to projectegg.co, so that's projectegg.co/pajamas, you can actually go
I
and
love it.
download these resources for absolute free. Like, this is some mad value here. Like, let me just stress again, free. Like, y'all, Allie gets paid tons of money. Like, she has a membership, coaching clients, like all this stuff, and people pay her a lot to get this information, and she's giving this to us for free. Like, I would highly, highly recommend going and taking advantage of that. So that's, again, projectegg.co/pajamas. If you're
I
not
love it.
into multiples of pajamas, you can also do pajama, and it'll send you to the same place. I'll make sure they both there. So
Okay.
go grab those resources. Seriously, do yourself that favor. Like, look, we have too many things to worry about in our business to have to try to figure this whole Instagram thing out on our own. Like, Allie's done all the hard work for you, right? She's done the heavy lifting, the testing, the experimenting. This is one of those times when you're like, okay, well, what's the catch, right? Like, what am I not seeing here? Like, y'all, when it comes to Allie, in my experience, which is the only thing I can speak from, like, it's always been give, 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 to the point where you're like, oh man, like, I feel like I should be just throwing money at you because, you're doing so much and doing all of this for free. So, you very rarely find somebody like Allie who's willing to give this much information away for free. Very hard one, battle tested knowledge. So again, projectegg.co/pajamas, or singular pajama. Go grab those resources. Allie, thank you so much for that. You wanna wrap us up?
Ben, you're amazing. I know that your audience is amazing. This community is amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for allowing me to be here. And hopefully I was able to give at least one single, nugget that was helpful. If not, hopefully that extra training will do that too. So thank you so much for your awesomeness and allowing me to be a part of it today.
Absolutely. So everybody, thank you again very, very much for being a part of the Project Egg Nation. And also, if you've been part of this workshop, you've secretly been inducted into the Pajama Squad. So
I love it so much. That's so funny.
We should have little badges, like,
We
to put on
should.
our websites, like, proud members of the Pajama Squad. So,
but then when people go to it and they've seen this, they're going to know exactly what that means. They're going to feel so cool. It's like the secret. Yeah, we're doing it. I like it.
That's awesome. All right. So everybody, seriously, go grab that freebie. Go and make and implement these things that Allie's been teaching you. Reach out and, go hit up Allie on Instagram and go see what she's all about. Highly encourage that. Let's change the world.